We're going to talk about formatting an Excel worksheet. The data within that worksheet, we should already have our data entered in. And we're going to talk about the different ways that we can emphasize the data within a worksheet or workbook. First thing, we can increase font size of the cells. Obviously, the bigger the size of the font, the more impact that it's going to have. It's just our nature when we look at something that we look at the larger text or the darker text first. So it's going to indicate the relative importance of how we read our text in the worksheet. So we should go from the largest to smallest, the following order. Worksheet titles should be the largest font. Then it should be followed by worksheet subtitles, and then the column and the row headings. Next, we can change the font color of the cells. Now, you want to use different colors within your worksheet to help differentiate between the sections of the worksheet, but we don't want to get color happy. Obviously, we can overuse it and it can be very distracting. We don't want our worksheet to look like a giant rainbow. You want to use a color theme that goes with and is appropriate for the material that you're covering. You also only want to use the colors in the different cells to emphasize or put importance on things that you want your reader to look at. Next, we have centering titles, subtitles, and column headings. This helps us quickly identify information that interests the reader. The last two is going to be modifying column widths to the best fit text in cells. Now, we want to make sure that text does not overflow into other cells because, as we know, you can't really read it. Okay? Columns that contain data that are similar in nature to other columns should share the same column width. Okay? So you want to adjust that to accommodate the largest amount of text within that column, which makes sense. That's why it would be best fit text. Okay, last we can change the font style of the cells. We can use bold to make them stand out. We can use italics and underline, but we only want to use those in good judgment. We don't want to overuse the italics, the bold, and the underlining. We can also change the font style so the actual type of font that we see. You want to make it to where it's easy to read. You don't want it to be too difficult to understand what you're trying to say or to read what you're trying to interpret on these worksheets. All right, now we are going to go ahead and format our worksheet. So first thing I want you guys to do is go ahead and click over here in A1. Then we're going to come up to the Format tab right up here in this area. We're going to click on the little drop down, and we want to change that to the title style. Notice, just like it does in Word, it automatically changes the font to that style that we picked. Now we're going to click in A2, and we're going to change the font to Cambria. All right, then we want to go ahead and bold it. So you can do the shortcut Command B, or you can come up here and click on it in the Home tab. All right, next we're going to have A2 still selected, and we're going to change the font size to 14. Then we're going to change the font color up here in the Home tab as well to column 4, row 2. So we're going to change it to this blue, text 2. Right, now we're going to center the columns by merging cells. So we're going to select A1, then we're going to drag and highlight all the way to H1. Then under the Home tab, we're going to go under Alignment, and right here where it says Merge, we're going to click on the little drop down arrow, and we're going to click Merge and Center, and you'll notice that the lines for the different columns disappears, so now you know that you have merged that. Now we're going to do the same thing for the subtitle, highlight A2 through H2, merge and center. Now we're going to format the column titles and column rows. So we're going to select A3 all the way to H3. We want to go under the Format area under the Home tab, and we're going to click Heading 3. Okay. Then we're going to, under Alignment, we're going to hit Center. Then we're going to click on A9. Oops, down here. We're going to drag all the way to H9. And here, we want to apply the style. Total. And you'll notice that it bolds it. Now we're going to format the numbers in the worksheet. So we're going to start by selecting the corporate row, so B4 through H4. We're going to come up here under the Home tab, under the Numbers section, click on the drop-down menu, and we want to make that accounting. And you'll notice the change. It adds commas and dollar signs. Next, we want to select the rest of the text minus the total row. So that is B5 through H8. And we're going to come up here in the numbers area, and there's a comma. And so we're going to add that in. We don't have the dollar signs. We just want the comma on that one. Then we're going to select cells B9 all the way through H9. And we're going to go ahead and add the accounting as well to that one. Last thing I want to do in formatting is we're going to adjust the column width. And how we're going to do that is you're going to come up here to the column. In the line in between A and B, you'll notice that the mouse changes. Okay, you're going to double click, and it automatically formats that column width to the longest text, and that would be the phonathon.